Trade Genius.
What's up guys, Philip at Trade Genius. In this video I just want to cover what I'm perceiving to be cracks in the dam in the US markets, and I think that ultimately what's going to play out is you're going to see a safe haven into things like Bitcoin, and I think that's really where you're going to see a big bull run ultimately. But I want to share with you guys what I'm seeing, and so you guys can be aware of what's going on. So let's dive into the charts. Guys, real quickly, we signaled Tron at 335 TRX BTC, and just a great move up, well over 20% on that first push up here. So if you guys are interested in getting those types of signals along with our binary options and our stocks, ETFs, in the chat rooms and stuff, here's our October specials. You can get in the room with us. Very active signal services and trading rooms. So join us, and I think you'll see it's well worth your while, and these annual rates are very reasonable. All right guys, let's dive into the chart. And first thing we're going to look at is the SPX. And what are we looking at on the SPX? Well, if we look at the weekly, okay, jump over to the weekly chart, and let's turn off this overlay real quick here. All right, weekly chart, what do we have? Big bearish divergence. What's a bearish divergence? Well, RSI is not making a new high, but price is. All right, so that's a major one. Here's another one. Dow Jones Industrial Average, same thing, bearish divergence. NASDAQ Qs, bearish divergence. Another one I like to look at is kind of what's going on with the volatility index. If you're not familiar with it, it's VIX. You can look this up in TradingView or any of your charting applications. VIX is happy under the 200 period moving average on the weekly. Anytime it gets above that, that's when you got to take notice. It's kind of like a warning light on your dashboard, because things can escalate pretty quickly. So, from here, you can have another move up. Actually, let's take this off percentage. Let's look at the regular values here. So we're at 15 right now. Normally, a happy spot is below 14, usually with VIX. And now that we get a move up, we could easily jump up to 2021, which has historically been an area where it pops to. But if you get above that, things can escalate pretty quickly. Your next stop would be somewhere around 25, and then once it gets above those levels, you're looking at 30, and then things get real crazy above 30 on up to like 50 and above. So little warning light on the dash there as far as the volatility index. Another neat thing that I saw was, and actually let's look at a monthly view on this. This is the 10-year note, Treasury, the yields, the 10-year note, U.S. Treasuries, and notice it's touching the 200-day or the 200 period moving average on the monthly chart. Last time I did that was back here, and guess what? That was 1987. That was the crash when they spiked up to that, and here we are spiking back up to it again. Haven't really tagged it since that era. And now we're touching it. So, yields on the rise, things are, there's definitely things to take notice here of. And then most noticeably, more recently here, if we look, and we'll turn back on this overlay of the these are the ES futures, right? So this is the futures for the S&P 500. Basically, it's the S&P 500 movement relative to Bitcoin. But if you notice to the beginning of the month here, we've started to see a change in the correlation. This is the beginning of October, and then we started to see the shift where markets are moving down. This flat line is the weekend, and started last week really moving down, and Bitcoin's not, Bitcoin's ignoring that, and it's going up. And that's kind of the first thing you'll see, is that kind of move there if Bitcoin starts to become a flight to safety. I think ultimately it will, along with things like gold. But gold, if Bitcoin becomes that gold 2.0 standard, then that $8 trillion of market cap in the current gold market shows you that there's a lot of upside to the Bitcoin price, especially if you consider the amount of Bitcoins that have gone missing. We only have about 16.5 million maybe that'll be in circulation when it's all said and done. So a very finite supply here. It's the gold for the digital age. Mankind has largely been in a non-digital type of environment, and now we're in a digital era, so it makes sense that you're gonna have something that can be cryptographically secured as a new unit of store of value for the future. So anyway guys, that's just my take on it. I see, seeing some warning signs, and I think this is the way these things start, and we're starting to see the correlation change with Bitcoin. So that's it for this video. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at the institutional movements that are happening in the crypto space and how that's going to affect Bitcoin price going forward. As always, please hit like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you're on the mobile, please ring that bell, and we'll see you on tomorrow's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Trade Genius.